that?
Man, come on, Skip.
I blame the anthem protest. If they had never protested, they'd have like 50 big plays.
50 big plays. You know, I think it really comes down to the offensive line. Really. I mean, that's where it started at the beginning of the year, you know, with Tyrod Smith being out. Zach Martin was out. And they never got on pace. Go back to last year. When the Cowboys came out, they came out hot. And that offensive line they were crushing people. They were talking about, this is the best offensive line in football. They may be better than the offensive line in the 90s when they won the Super Bowl. I think that's crazy. But, they had a great offensive line. And they gave up, a couple of weeks ago, 8 sacks to the Atlanta Falcons. You know, Dak Prescott got hit 10 times. They've never got their running game on pace. They'll run good one week, then it's okay one week. Dak has no time in the pocket one week, and then sometimes he has time in the pocket. So they don't have a big play receiver. I mean, Dez Bryant is still a good receiver. And I say, to me, you have to throw him open. I believe that. But they need a guy that can go deep and really go catch the ball. I mean, if Martavis Bryant wants to get out of Pittsburgh one day, maybe they take him there. But I really believe that it starts with the offensive line. And a lot of people, you don't know those guys up front, but those guys up front are very, very important.
The reason why the Cowboys lack big plays because they are a run-first football team. And when you're a run-first football team, you're not going to have guys going 50, 60 yards running the football. And, Skip, the thing is, they weren't explosive last year either. They don't have the 2 guys that they have that are explosive, Terrence Williams and Bryce Butler. They're not targeted enough so you can see their big play potential. Dez Bryant is basically an in-breaking and a jump ball guy. Jason Witten was never a big play tight end. He was a never stretch the field tight end. He's solid, great on third down, going to get you a lot of catches. He will move the chains. But he's not a big play receiver. Cole Beasley, if that's what you think Cole Beasley is, he's another guy get you third downs. Skip, what they do, they're built to play action and then get you open that way. Because if you think about it, Dez is not running, he's not going to get open by running the route. You have to have a great play action, you get one-on-one coverage, and then you throw him open. But as far as running routes, the intricacies of running the route tree, that's not where Dez is. So they don't have explosive players. You look at the Atlanta Falcons. They got Julio. Mohamed Sanu can go deep. They got Gabriel. If you look at Tom Brady, take Tom Brady at his absolute best. What do they have, Skip? They had Randy Moss to take the top of the coverage. They had Wes Welker working underneath. Now, Gronk can still give you big plays, but what did Coach Belichick do? He went and traded for Brandon Cooks, who's a big play receiver. Now they got Amendola, they got Hogan, they got all these backs.
Philip Dorsett can fly.
Yes, but they got guys that can stretch the field. They don't target Williams enough. They don't target Bryce Butler enough. Skip, if you think you're going to get a 50-yard completion when you only target a guy 3 times, you might get one of those. And we've seen Bryce Butler have a game, Skip, 3 catches, 77 yards, one of them the 50-yard completion. But that's few and far between. They don't have explosive players. They're built to run the football, possess the ball, and so that's why you don't see the explosive plays. Since Zeke is the only guy that can give you a home run threat. I mean, Alfred Morris did have one run. I think he went 70 yards. I might against the Rams or something.
Yeah, but they lost.
But other than that, Skip, they don't have big play potential at the skill set position. And this is simple as that.
So, quick point of order, since you guys continue to ridicule me about Sean Lee. So, going into last Thursday night game, Sean Lee had been in the lineup for 22 games over the last year and a half, and the record had been 18-4 with Sean Lee playing defense for the Dallas Cowboys. Without him this year, they were 0-5 going into last Thursday night, and they won without him. And by the way, he is returning for the Giants game. So here we go. Now, back to big play potential. Obviously, they miss Ezekiel Elliott. Who wouldn't? I think he's the best running back in football, though I must admit, I thought Le'Veon was really good last night. He really impressed me. He ran hard.
He been like that.
I got it. I'm giving it up to Le'Veon just off last night because he ran hard and he caught hard last night.
Say he's the best.
Well, he's not the best. Well, Zeke is. I mean, I've said that. I said it all last year. So obviously, when you don't have that threat of play action, Tom Brady thrives on play action. Aaron Rodgers thrives on play. They're really good at it, but you have to have some credible threat. And so far, Alfred Morris has not been that kind of a threat. So, back to your point. The most instructive play to me last Thursday night was the first third down. It was like 3rd and 9. Dak drops back, and they showed an overhead shot on, what was it, on NBC or whatever it was on Thursday night. Was it NFL Network?
Yeah, it was NBC.
Anyway, they show an overhead shot. And everybody is just covered like crazy, like nobody can uncover. And Cole Beasley had 2 people on him because that's what's happened this year. Everybody said, we're going to take that away. Your little security blanket underneath your little Wes Welker. We're just going to take him away. And look at what's happened to poor Cole Beasley's production. At this point last year, through 12 games, he had caught 60 balls. He's now caught 30 balls. Guess what? The defense just said, no, you can have him because we will put our best corner most of the time, even though Washington didn't even try to flip-flop. He didn't travel with Dez at all, Josh Norman.
No.
And they would have Breland on him. So what happened to Dez Bryant the other night? He actually made a couple of big plays. What were they? A 13-yard fade route for a touchdown, which he just went up and snatched.
Exactly.
Right? And then he got a 17-yard pass interference. Are those explosive plays? Are those what you'd call big plays, 25 yards plus? No. They're just Dez plays.
Right.
They're fade routes in the end zone, okay? So that's all you got left. I don't know what Terrence Williams is doing. He's just sort of a shell of himself. His production is way down. And you know how much I've said this all year. I love Bryce Butler because he's the one guy who can run past people. They just can't play him because the owner loves Dez Bryant. Dez is making whatever that contract is, you know. And how do you get Bryce Butler on the field? He got one pass the other night, and he was basically, it was just a little down and out, and he was covered, and Dak threw it out of bounds. Yeah. So he got one target, no catches. Really? And he's averaging 20.5 yards a catch this year. Well, you got to throw it to him. Remember Arizona?
Yeah.
Did Dak not make 2 big plays in that game, both to Bryce Butler?
Skip, if you look at the Cowboys last year when they had Zeke, they were possessing the ball.
They weren't getting chunked.
Right, exactly.
I agree.
And they don't draft players because, and the reason why Dak doesn't throw the ball down the field, Skip, is because they told him, Dak, we're good enough. We're going to run the ball. Hey, take Cole Beasley, short, easy throws. He's going to move the chains. We're going to stay on the field. Yep. We're going to keep our defense off the field. So he's not going to force the ball. Yep. He started forcing the ball to Dez, trying to go down the field. What happened? Pick. Mm-hmm. So. And Dez is not a deep threat receiver. He's not like A.J. Green and some of these other guys that can get deep in a hurry. That's not who he is.
I told you the stat the other day, going into Thursday night's game. Dez Bryant on deep passes, 25 yards or more, had been targeted 29 times and had caught 5 of them all year.
Yeah.
That ranked in percentage at the very bottom of the National Football League. That's what you're up against.
Right.
So Dak dropped back on that first 3rd and 9, and again, the offensive line has been hit and miss all year. Yeah. It finally started run blocking on Thursday night. They finally got a little bit of momentum. Mm-hmm. But Dak hasn't had a whole lot of time. And again, what he's best at and what he was best at Thursday night was clutch 3rd down throws, 6-yard throws to Cole Beasley, Jason Witten, Terrence Williams. He hit Terrence Williams on a big 3rd and 8 the other night. Okay? On a little turn-in.
Ran a great route on Josh Norman. Yeah, but Skip, that's not the way they're constructed. We're asking them to be something that they're not.
That's it. The Cowboys are, like you said, they're a running football team. It's certain teams just like that. The Steelers, to me, it's a running football team. They set that up first. I'm going to ask you one question. You're talking about play action. Guys have play action. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers, who does Aaron Rodgers do play action with? Nobody. I can answer that. He got nobody, you know.
So, I don't know. They ran the ball pretty well the other night for Brett.
But let's be for real.
They did.
But let's be for real.
Well, guess who ran wild on my Cowboys? Somebody named Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones?
But it
ran wild.
It was
he had like 100 yards rushing in the second half.
But it was the other Aaron that tore you up.
Well, did he not have a play-action threat?
Now, Sean Lee is coming back. Now, did he have a hamstring?
Tore it, yeah.
No, he's coming back.
That's what they say.
He's
going to practice.
He's not going to finish the season. Hamstring. I'm telling you, I had hamstring.
That's why I don't want you to raise Shannon.
Hey, the first
have you walking around.
Joy, what's wrong with you? I cannot run Shannon.
No.
I'm
not backing up Shannon. Both of you are going to pull it simultaneously.
I'm not letting no 58-year-old.
He can't even get down the stands.
We're going to have to carry you guys in here. Skip, tell him.
He just got an epidural in the back. He out there Tiger Woods.
Skip, who'd you go with?
If your hamstring would hold, I would go with you. I mean, this man can fly.
That was at 21. That was at 21.
I saw him at 20. I saw him at
and 40 pounds lighter.
What you talking about? I'm not fat. No, I'm not fat.
Hey,
you not that 21-year-old ED.
Look, Shannon, you look like this here, but you know you got a lot of this here, like.
Oh my God.
No, this guy. What'd you run the 100 in high school?
9.3. 100-yard dash.
9.3.
I can roll.
Hey, do you know how long you have?
I don't care, Chad. You can never run.
He just had his 40-year reunion.
I'm gonna start calling you Sterling.
He just had his 40-year high school reunion.
By the way, Dez's $17 million cap hit.
I might go out there and I might start running.
Eric will be back later in the show as LeVar Ball